I have to tell you, I think admitting where you're at with postpartum depression is the first step. And it is crazy when you get that help, how much mental healing that can be for you. I felt like if I was going to ask for help or have people help me, that I was a failure as a mom and I wasn't doing it right. And I think what I realized after time was, one, I really needed Artem in that time, as well as I needed to ask for help, that it truly does take a village. Because even when Artem was on Dancing with the Stars, I should have had someone there helping me when he was really busy, but I was just still so scared of what COVID was and the pandemic, because we weren't brand new in it, but it was still like uncertainty. And now when I look back, it's like, if I could have just found a way to have help and, just talk to people more about what I was going through, I think I could have avoided, a lot. And I think sometimes you can't help when you fall into that depression. Of course. But now having the help, and even Artem and I are in such a different place. And it's like, I'm so excited for the next season, because I think it'll be a lot different for him, as well as for me, because I know I will have that help around me. And I'll be like, Daddy, go dance morning till night, go have fun. We're good here. I have my people around me. I'm great.
I don't think I had full-fledged postpartum depression. I definitely had some pretty severe baby blues and postpartum anxiety. I did not want to leave her. I could not let her out of my sight. I was constantly worried if something was going to happen to her. She was going to get sick. Yeah, it was bad. And it's hormones. It's totally normal. You have to be able to separate yourself and on a logic level know this is normal. This happens to most women. The ones that it happens to that don't talk about it, they just don't talk about it because they don't want to be stigmatized or seen weak. But I think it's actually more common to feel that way than to not feel that way.
I'll be holding her and crying like, I love her so much. And Sam, my husband, is just like, okay, like I love her too. It's gonna be all right. Like that's been more the thing. So it's very interesting. Like, and it's a roller coaster. Every day is different. Like some days you're on cloud 9 and you're just like got all this energy. The next day you're like, oh my gosh, I'm super tired, but I still love this so much. So I've definitely felt all the emotions. But yes, like you said, the cry sometimes. I'm like, and I feel like I cried a decent normal amount before having Sage, but now it's like every little thing. She could lay there and just open her eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're perfect, emotional, like crying all the time. So that is definitely a real thing.
I feel like definitely having the support system around you, because I think, especially having a newborn, you're going up and down with your emotions and dealing with all new things that I've never had to deal with before. And it's all the unknown is what I call it. And so having a good group of friends and people around you who have either been through it or can just be, an ear to listen to all of your your thoughts and stories of what's been going on. But, I have a really, really good support team. And so I've been really fortunate with that.
Before, I remember he got on the computer and he's like, why are you Googling postpartum depression? And I was like, because I might have it, but I hadn't ever talked to him about it. And now it's like, he knows because I've told him hey, babe, for some reason today I'm feeling a little low, I'm feeling sad. And he's like, what can I do? Just having that open communication with him has really changed a lot. And I don't know what stopped me from doing it before, but I'm really grateful that being open has made it feel less hard.
With Brooks, I think it was mostly the trauma from his birth. And I had postpartum depression really until I got pregnant with Reed. That's what kind of changed it for me. I think when I got pregnant with Reed, it was this kind of this fresh start for me on how can I be more prepared for something like that again if it happens? Or how can I set up my body and my mentality to be in a better space for postpartum to hopefully maybe prevent postpartum depression again, which I know isn't, we could do everything right and we could still end up, because it has a lot to do with our hormones, you could still end up with postpartum depression again. But it was something that I really wanted to try to advocate for my health with my pregnancy with Reed and try to just set myself up for a better postpartum through everything that I learned.
Postpartum is not glamorous at all, and it's hard. I just wanted to kind of share a little bit more about my postpartum journey, and I think that was when I shared where I was kind of thinking back to that first day and just thinking that, you know, I would never recover from this. I was just so not myself. I didn't feel good at all. And so I just kind of wanted to be open and honest about that photo and just let people know that that's totally normal to feel that way.